Hello, welcome everyone to the initiative called as Saturdays for Sustainability Learning. And in this initiative, in this discussion forum, we discuss every week, every Saturday to understand sustainability in detail. A holistic understanding of sustainability is something that we all seek. So, welcome to the session. And this is a mastermind group. And what is mastermind group? If you have confusion, so I'm just sharing it on screen. Maybe I'll not explain everything on the screen, but uh, I really like the concept of synergy, and which is 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2. So there are infinite possibilities of the collaborative opportunities for when two things come together. So that's the concept of synergy, and it can be used for our learning as well. So welcome to this initiative. And if you are joined for the first time, so I'll just quickly introduce to you what are the four outcomes that you can expect. First one is learning one new concept every week or learning one new way of looking at things. Second is networking with fellow professionals in sustainability. Third is different learning opportunities or career opportunities. And the fourth is thought leadership, because sustainability is something where it's confusing for all, and no one person can claim expertise over sustainability, entire sustainability. But if people come together and if synergistically we can uh, support each other, then definitely we can get the insights of sustainability as well. And the idea or the basic foundation of this discussion forum is DIKW pyramid. I'll just quickly explain. If you know about data, information, knowledge, wisdom, in today's time we have more data and information than we can possibly consume. Every day something new report comes, but what is lacking is the knowledge and wisdom how to apply it, right? And that's why this group will help us, because people have experience, and if we can get from their experience, from their learning, that would be great. And the second basic foundation of the forum, discussion forum, is question and answer, and discussion is the best way of learning, and that's how we can explore it. So this is a request for everyone. If whenever you can, please raise your voice, please share your experience, and we would like to learn from you also, you as well. All right. So this is something new that we will plan for next week. Uh, if expert session are not there, so in this way we will have a discussion. We will have one report, and we will understand one concept every week. This is a plan for session. And if you have joined this session, so I hope you have registered through this link. This is just to ensure that you will get the invite for every next session as well. Okay. And if not, I'll share this link in our chat. Okay. All right. So I'll move ahead. I'll discuss about today's topic that we have. This is a 50-second session, 52 session, and I'm very happy that today we are going to discuss something which is very confusing, which is very, I guess, required in this time, which is certification, that is sustainability and climate risk, SCR certification, GARP. So we have a guest speaker today, Mr. Ganesh Nayak, who is the founder of Fintelligents, which is, I guess, you are running this organization from last uh, 7 years, if I'm correct, from
Ye-
2015. No,
Yes, yes.
okay, great. And you have more than 10 years of experience teaching CFA and FRM examinations, and you have more than 5,000 students we have trained, and they have received the certification. So it's wonderful to have you in this session. Welcome, Ganesh, and thank you so much for agreeing to guide us on this important topic. So yeah, welcome to the session, and
Thank
please,
you.
yeah, the forum is yours.
Thank you, Dhananjay. I'll be sharing my screen.
Sure,
Uh,
I'm just sharing the access. I hope you can share. Yeah,
yeah, perfect. I hope it is visible to everybody. Right,
yeah,
Dhananjay, clear? Okay. So, first of all, when the request came to me with respect to this certification, okay, so already there's a lot of information which has been given by the governing body, which is GARP, okay, Global Association of Risk Professionals. The intention of today's session will be to give you the basics and to address your queries, okay, with respect to how to approach this exam, what are the main critical points, or what are the major challenges that any professional who is going for these exams would actually look at. Okay. Before we start the discussion, okay, when we talk about any certification which is pertaining to, say, a topic like sustainability or climate risk, the intention is to gain knowledge. Okay, that is the primary intention, to understand that field better, and also to understand how I can get boost my career into that particular field. So when we are looking at this certification, there are other certifications also, but this certification has a unique combination of both sustainability and climate risk. Okay. When we talk about climate risk, this is going to impact everybody. You guys have been doing sessions around it. So when we talk from the banking perspective, okay, the financing angle is covered most in this certification, where they're talking about how a financial institution or a bank can impact the way sustainability is driven in the economy, or how the climate risk is actually managed in the economy. That is the broader view. So this certification is basically conducted by GARP, and it's a governing body which conducts other different certifications like FRM, and there is FRR. They've recently launched Risk and AI, all of the certifications. So in today's session, I'll be mostly talking to you about what is the certification, what is the benefit of the certification, how the structure basically works, what are the unique thing about the certification which is generally not there in other global certification, what are the topics that are being covered, and then most importantly, how do I see the career being growing, okay, and how exactly you can leverage this certification in your career, okay. So first of all, what exactly is SCR? So from the name itself, it talks about sustainability. Okay, now this concept of sustainability is slowly and steadily increasing in terms of discussion. The way a lot of banks, a lot of investment management companies were focusing on ESG, okay, in their decision making for investing. Now sustainability is also taking a part, a role into that. And it is not only focusing on banks or financial institution. Sustainability is connected to every organization which is there. Like Pepsi would also have an impact. A manufacturing company would also have to think about sustainability in the future. Okay. So any professional who is looking to cut across different industry should look at sustainability. Okay, from that perspective. And climate risk. Okay, climate. Why explicitly focusing on climate risk? Because a lot of companies are building infrastructure, they're making huge investment into new products. If tomorrow the climate is going to change, and it is obviously going to adversely impact us and the organization, how their decision making should change today. That is what the examination focuses on. Okay. And this is one of the certification which has a blend of both. If you look at other global certification, they will focus more on one aspect, like for example, on climate risk or climate finance, but they don't talk about sustainability and climate both. So this is one thing which I liked about the certification when I gave this exam. So I gave this exam in October 2022, okay, and I cleared the exam. And I'll explain you the basic structure now. So the basic structure explicitly uh, focuses on the base idea that any professional who wants to understand, okay, who wants to understand how climate risk is going to impact him, even though it might not impact him right away, but in the series of next 5-10 years, how it is going to impact. That is where this certification comes into picture. Okay, so there are a lot of sustainability related standards that are now coming in. Okay, there is TCFD guidelines that are there. So all of these guidelines, these standards, how it will shape up. So this certification gives you that view, how it is going to shape up and how it is going to impact the organization. Okay, that is basically being covered. And people from various disciplines like finance, banking people are doing a lot of banking people right now are doing this certification, and people who are into supply chain. These are the two categories of people who are directly involved into it right now. But slowly and gradually, new professionals will also enter into it as it becomes mainstream. Right now, more than 2,000 people have cleared SCR. This is the data from the institute website. Okay, and more than 6,000, 7,000 people have given the exam till now. Okay, it has started in 2020 initially. So before the certification, GARP also had an energy risk professional, but it was very skewed in terms of the audience, in terms of the usage. Hence, they moved to SCR after that. So, why you should give this exam and what is the basic structure of this exam? Okay, so no negative marking. Okay, so previously in the so exams are conducted in twice a year. It's April and October. In the April exam, there were 80 questions which were getting targeted, and there was no negative marking. Okay, but now in this October exam, they've slightly changed the pattern. So they said now it is not 80, it is going to be 90, and the time that has been given to clear the exam that has also been increased. So previously you have to appear for the exam in 3 hours. Now it has become 4 hours because they've increased the number of questions. Okay, on an average, it requires around 130 hours of preparation. I generally recommend around 150 to 170 hours. Okay, working professionals, and you can spread it across 3 months to 4 months time. If you're working, so on an average, 1.5 hour, 2 hour daily basis, you can prepare for the exam. Okay, uh, exams, the timeline when we talk about this, so results are generally declared after 4 weeks, and they have a window in which you can choose the date. You can choose the date, you can choose the time also, you can choose the location also. Okay. Now there is this unique part which is CPD. If you look at all the bigger certifications, they generally have CPD a requirement for their members. If you have cleared the exam, you have to be continuously engaged. Right now, it is not that it is voluntary, but slowly they will be making it mandatory in the next 2-3 years. This will become mandatory because the field of sustainability is changing fast. So they would need people to continuously learn. Okay, so this is the broader structure. In case anybody has a query, you can ask query in between. There's no problem. How can you become the SCR? So right now, you have to register with GARP. Okay, I'll be also talking about the cost. Okay, and you have to choose the exam. So right now, if you are registering, it has to be for the October exam, October 24 exam. Okay, you have to appear and clear the exam. This is the only requirement right now they've set so that you can become a SCR certificate holder. Okay, appear the exam and obviously clear the exam. I'll be also giving you the overview of how the exam is conducted. Okay, so currently the pathway is very simple. They have not added any prerequisite. They have not added 2-3 levels of the exam as of now, but gradually it is going to change. Okay, the exams questions are so basically right now in the October exam it is going to be 90 questions, 2 case studies. Generally they ask you 4 questions in 1 case study. Okay, and rest everything is one single question. Okay, and entire exam is MCQ based. There is no subjective questions. There's no subjective question. So you just have to go and choose one of the 4 options that are available. Now, how the exam is conducted. So people are asking, is it online? Is it offline? So you have to select a center. So they have a tie-up with Pearson, and you have to select the center, select the time, date, go to that center with your original ID card, and they will make you sit. There is a small tutorial that you have to take at the start, and then you have to start the exam. So it is not that you can take the exam at home. You have to go to the center. Okay. What are the benefits of doing SCR? And right now, the awareness in the industry is slightly low because it's a new area, niche area, especially the sustainability part. So we can see that if you get this certification or any other similar certification, you immediately get a recognition in the industry. Okay, this is a very important point because your CV becomes slightly different. Okay, and industry definitely needs people who are learning new things, who can contribute toward the growing need of the industry or the company. And it's a new skill set. Okay, and this is what I also thought when I initially did SCR, because in the industry, you see a lot of FRMs are there, a lot of CAs, CPA. So how I can differentiate, okay, in terms of value proposition. That is where this new skill set came into picture. Okay. Murli, answering to your query, right now in the exam structure, calculation perspective, very limited part is there. They are in the next 1 year, I think so, they'll be adding the modeling part also into the exam. This is what I see right now. The institute has not given any hint as such, but when I talk to people, I get the idea. that this is what going to be the next change. It's a global certification. So, and if anybody is looking out to move abroad, especially Europe in the next 1-2 years, and they want to add into their kitty some certification which is going to be of value over there, then definitely SCR is one of them, because this sustainability, climate risk is extensively talked about right now in European companies. Okay, continuous learning. Uh, any working professional who has been in the industry, they identify this need that yes, I need some new skill set, and that is one of the reason you guys are also coming together, right? So that is continuous. This will satisfy your need of learning something new. Further, it helps you to expand your career opportunities. So within finance also, I'll give you an example. In the future, when credit assessment will happen of organizations, so when banks are going to give debt, they're going to look at the credit analysis. In that credit analysis, you will also find how this company is doing in terms of climate risk, how the company is doing in terms of sustainability. And banks and financial institution will have to analyze what is the climate risk of their overall portfolio. So over there, this new skill set can help you to enter into those areas also where the assessment will happen. Okay. And competitive advantage, it is connected to the same part, that you get recognition within the industry. As more discussion will start happening about sustainability, you will be always be at the forefront because you've already completed this certification, right? Is the syllabus freely available? Broader structure of the syllabus is available. Okay, there are PDFs of the actual book that is also available. Okay, but it is available on Telegram groups. Right now, from the institute, you cannot get the PDF directly. You'll have to buy. Okay. Can someone from US write this exam? Yes. You can write it anywhere. Obviously, there should be center. So most countries, they have a center. But in certain countries like Vietnam, so they might only have a center at Hanoi or their capital, likewise. But in India, you'll find center at all the metros, okay, and some of the tier 1 cities, okay. Top skill set which the certification talks about, okay. The major focus of certification is towards reporting and standards, and we know that right now SEBI has asked a lot of companies to do their reporting with respect to sustainability. So this can become a base for you to understand different reporting standards and reporting requirements, and then gradually you can build upon that. So this is one of the top skill set that you can get after completing this certification. Okay, carbon footprinting and environmental law, the basics will become clear. How these topics are, how companies are looking at it, okay, how it is connected to the regulatory requirement. All of this will get clear when you do the certification or do this exam. Climate data analysis, right now, they have some portion of their syllabus, but it is more at an analysis part. It is not at the calculation part, because the models are also getting developed in the industry. But this is going to be the main part as we move ahead. In the next 2-3 years, this certification is explicitly going to be on modeling, on the data analysis, okay, and how third-party data can be merged into your own company to do this analysis of climate risk and sustainability. So this is what I feel is going to be the next big discussion point in the sustainability space also. Okay, if you are into a consulting space, like for example, KPMG, PwC, if you're already working and you want to create a niche, because as companies' requirement will increase, they will go to consulting companies to get the idea how it can be done. So sustainability consulting is also going to grow, and this certification gives you the base that you can approach into that direction of becoming a consultant in this space. Okay, so that is a broader skill set there. Yes, this meeting is recorded. Exam charges and study material, I'm talking about it now in the next few slides. Okay, who should do the SCR course? So I have seen in the last 2 years, people who want to change their career, they're also coming. So I had a student who she's right now a college professor, and she wants to move to corporate. And she has a very keen interest into geography, environment. So she's done the certification because she wants to move into that consulting space. Okay. So who should do the certification? Sorry, yeah. Who should do the certification? Primarily bankers. They are doing the certification right now. Okay. People who are into the consulting space or who wish to get into consulting space, because this opens up the new avenue into consulting. and also people who want to change their industry or change their role. So people who are into suppose audit and they have done auditing, or they want to look at something new, they can also look at SCR as certification. So mostly people who are connected to finance, somewhere connected to finance, they are doing SCR right now. Okay, because in bank, the awareness is now growing faster in Indian public sector banks also. Okay, so that is a broader demography that I see of people who are going for this exam. Okay, exam structure and fees. So over here, now what GARP Institute has done is uh, separately you can become a member. Okay, of GARP Institute. If you are a member, the fees is going to be lower. Okay, plus if you are a certified FRM, which is their certification, so you'll be getting a lower fee. So I had done FRM, so I got lower fees when I registered for it. But if you're a non-member, the fees is slightly higher. Okay. Now every year they're increasing it slightly. So I think so. Last year it was like 650 around, and then now they've increased it by $75. Okay. Now what is this early bird? So for every exam, there's a early bird window. So for October exam, the early bird window started from 1st of May, and it got closed by 31st of July. Okay, that is a broader window. Till that, the fees is lower. After that, that's a standard fee. The fees is slightly higher, $100. $100 fees is higher. Okay. Yes, fees is uniform for all the countries. So if you're registering over here and because of some reason you want to go and give the exam in US, that is also possible. But you have to inform them that I'll be going over there. There should be a slot available. Okay. Lokesh, answering to your query, you are already an ESG professional. Okay. Now, the way I look at ESG, the major mandate that you see for ESG is with respect to investment management. So if you are, for example, working in a hedge fund or an institutional investor, like a pension fund, and you wish to make investment into certain areas, ESG will help you because then you will look at the ESG rating of the company and then you will make the investment. This is one of the reasons that it was started. Now, obviously, ESG requirement is there in different companies. SCR will help you to understand and analyze the core part of that environmental aspect. Okay, more focused on environment. You'll become a niche you'll be doing a niche into that. Okay, Lokesh, I've answered your query. If there's any other query, you can put it on chat. Don't worry. Okay, so exam is conducted in April and October. Okay, it's a paper-based exam. Okay, now for October it is going to be 90. So previously for April it was 80. This is one change. Okay. Again, the number of hours has been changed. So previously it was 3 hours, now it is 4 hours. Okay, with 2 case studies. Again, they are going to test you on the understanding. So when you read the book, you'll understand everything. But when you start solving the question bank, that is where the game changer is. You realize that how much in depth you've understood. So it is going to be more with respect to understanding scenario-based questions you will find in the exam. Okay. Kumaldeep, answering to your query, is it good for somebody who is a fresher? Okay. The only requirement that I see is that you should have a keen interest on environment, geography, slightly on that side. Okay. So not everybody has that. Okay. So if you're having that keen interest, definitely you can go for this exam. You might need some time to prepare properly. Okay. Because you're a fresher, you have not worked, okay, in the industry. So you might need some extra time, but you can still go and appear for the exam and clear the exam. Okay. Murli, answering to your query, does this include social labor rights component? No, it does not. So it does not cover the social and the governance aspect. It only focuses on environment, and that too from the risk angle. Okay, how? Because ultimately every company, when they're going to take a decision, they are going to look at risk. And then when they're going to invest, they'll always ask this question: what is the return and what is the cost? How much my risk is going down? That is the thought process. Okay. No, it is not paper-based, it is a computer. Sorry, my bad. That was a typo. It is a computer-based exam. You have to go to the center. There's going to be computer-based exam. You have to select. Are model papers available? Yes. So GARP Institute, every year they release a sample paper. Okay. And that is available to all the students who are registered. That gives you the idea that how the exam is going to be structured. What is going to be the jargons that are ideally used, the nomenclature that are ideally used in the exam, and that will give you some fair idea how to appear for the exam. Okay. Khushbu, answering to your query, I am working as a role of sustainability in the manufacturing industry. Is it really worth to add on to your current role? See what happens now. Even if you're working in a particular industry, when you do any certification, it helps you to connect with what is the normal uh, tendency or normal, what do you say, way the industry operates or way a particular work is done. So from that perspective, if you do any of these certification, not specifically SCR, but any certification, it actually reduces your learning curve. That is how I see it. Okay, or else you will have to be in that space for some time. You'll have to network, attend workshops, attend seminars. Okay, so all of that basic understanding will become clear for you by any certification. This is one of the certification. There is a retake cost. Suppose you could not clear one exam, so the institute allows you to sit for the exam. Okay, in the next to attempt at a lower fee. So for example, you appeared for October exam and you could not clear. You want to again give the exam. So next April and October, you can again sit at a reduced fee. Okay, $350. Deferral. Now, suppose you registered for October and you, because of some XYZ reason, because of personal commitment, you could not sit for the exam. The institute is basically saying you can pay $150 and shift your exam to next attempt, which is April 2025. Okay, so that deferral fees is also there, 150 USD. There is no age limit. Anybody can appear for the exam. So in the last attempt, there was a college student who gave the exam, who cleared the exam. So there's no age limit. Okay. What is the registration process? So GARP has not made it very complicated. So they basically require a few things very clear. That is, the name of the person should match with their identification proof. Okay. So generally, I recommend identification proof being passport or driving license. That is widely recognized. Even if you do not have that, then Aadhaar card will also work in India. Okay, I've seen students appearing with Aadhaar card. Okay, but having a passport or a driving license will definitely help. So you can have that as a identification proof. So your name should match, and it should match exactly. That is one requirement, because at the center they check it properly, and then only your exam will start. Okay. So on the website, you can just go and register there. They will ask you a few things, like your address, your name, if you're working, which company you're working, what is the designation. And then you can make the payment. And then the first step is to register for the exam. If suppose you are registering for October exam, second step would be, okay, go to your portal. That means you have to create your login ID and all of this and schedule your exam. Okay, so there will be a window in which you'll have to book the slot, time, and the location also. That is one step which you'll have to do. Okay, there are free resources definitely available. So at the end, I'll be sharing my details also. You can reach me. I can share you few details. There's no problem with that. Okay. Yes, yes. On the questions part also, the GARP sample paper part is also available. I can share that with you. That's not an issue. Okay. So what is the registration process? So if you're planning to go for October exam, your exam window is this 21 to 29. I generally recommend people that book your exam ideally in the initial 4-5 days, because what happens, this is a global exam. Okay, so this is what I've general tendency that I've seen is for FRM also, if later exams you book, the questions become slightly tough, because somebody who's giving the exam later will have an advantage of what concepts is getting tested. The institute knows about this and they basically increase the difficulty level. This is my understanding. Okay, from the last 3-4 exams for SCR also I've seen this. So my suggestion, if you're going for the exam, register in the initial 3-4 days, 3 days maximum, and you can close the exam. Okay. So 31st July was the early bird registration, and standard registration is now open. That is $100 extra. And scheduling deadline is 27th October. That means, see, before the last date of the exam also you can schedule. So it is not like that you have to book your slot right now. So suppose you paid the fees, but you're not sure where you're going to be, which city you're going to be. So you can schedule your exam later. That's okay. That means you can schedule in September also, depending upon your requirement. Okay, but it is a first come, first serve basis. So your slot should be available. Okay. So how does the payment happen? Credit card. Okay. Check, if you have a check from US bank. If you have a US Citibank checkbook and you want to use that check, that is possible. Okay, wire transfer is a very basic process, but normally everybody makes credit card payment. In wire transfer, basically, you're asking your Indian bank, say State Bank of India, to make payment to a US bank, and then US bank will make payment to GARP. So they basically charge a $50 fee because there are two banks involved and they need a processing fee in this entire thing. But majority of the students, they will use the credit card itself. Okay, I'll be answering the queries. I'll just complete this process so that if there is a confusion, you can take a pause. Okay, exam scheduling. So when you're scheduling the exam, okay, they basically ask you which document you are going to use. Okay, you have to select the date, time, and location. And at the time of the exam, okay, the most widely used is the passport and the driving license. This is what I recommend. Okay, and it should be a valid document. Now, when we are saying valid, it should be valid on that day. Okay, if you had a document and it got expired 3 days back, it will not be allowed. So be very clear on that. Okay, and your photo should be very clear. Okay, and there are going to be cameras, they will be verifying it. All of these things will happen. The normal process of any global exam. Okay, I'll be answering the queries which has been asked on the chat. Mostly answering to your query. Someone who has a GRI, UNGC, or other qualification, how will this help? See, GRI certification, it is good. Okay, I've seen that on their website also. UN, there are a lot of certifications available. But what happens? They are not testing you, they are not grilling you to that level. This is one differentiation factor. Because see, if you look at risk management also, on the internet, there is so many free resources that is available in sustainability also. But when you go to an employer, okay, what generally employers look at is that have you done something which is of global standard? Because then you can rely on that certification, that if you've cleared the certification, then it is good that we can rely on that knowledge. That is what the industry also looks at. Okay, that's the reason I'm suggesting that all the certification that you talked about, na, GRI and the UN certification, you can do it additionally also. So anybody who has cleared this SCR, they can do additionally all of these certifications. This shows that you are interested in the space of sustainability, but you still need some authoritative certification which can help you. That is what my suggestion will be. Pradeep, answering to your query, CSR professional, do you think the certification would help? See, when you're taking a decision, because you're already into that space, so you have to look at what is my area of interest. Is it ESG, core ESG? Okay, do I want to be in that investment area where I'm going to analyze the company on all of these parameters? Okay, how do you see your career in the next 2 years? If you're not like you want to switch to ESG, that is also a very good space. A lot of companies are now going to do it. Okay, but the idea is that if you are having the clarity that yes, I wish to be in this ESG, then there is a separate certification you should be doing. Then you should not go for SCR. Okay, but if you wish to look at only say climate related aspect or core sustainability, then SCR will help, because the group that you are part of, right, that the discussion points are also related to sustainability. So if you're more keen into this, then only you should go for it. Okay, for ESG, there is separate certification which can help you. And any placement process, so right now, what institute has done is they have a placement on their website, which is a global placement. It is not specific to India. Okay, but we are working towards this. We are going to be having some placement support also for the students who are appearing for the exam. From our side, we're going to be having that in the next 1 year. We're going to be creating that pathway for students. Suman, answering to your query, credit card, any credit card, that is okay. Indian credit card will also help. Kumaldeep, answering to your query, right now there is no scholarship that is available for this exam. So it's the full fees that anybody will have to pay. Okay, look at the pass percentage. This is something which should make everybody happy if you're looking at this certification. Okay, so pass percentage has generally been around 50% and above, which is good. Okay, which is good, because what happens? A lot of people, they're working who are going to give this exam. They're not, most of them, they don't complete the portion, they just go for the exam. So you will see that 10-20% people are just there because they have paid the fees, they could not prepare properly, they just went for the exam. your competition is very low. And from that aspect, if you're reading the material properly, if you're solving a lot of questions, very good chance that you're going to clear the exam. And that is what effectively I've seen. That it is roughly above 50%, which is good. Topics which are covered. Okay. So if you look at the weightages, so they've given you a range of how the institute is going to ask you a question. Okay. So this chapter is heavily tested. Like I said, the focus is going to move toward data analysis, data modeling. Okay. This chapter is also going to become more and more important. Okay. So there basically the entire structure of the curriculum is being created in this way that anybody who wants to start, so he'll first look at the foundation, then he will understand why sustainability is so important. What are the standards related to sustainability? Okay. Then how there are different finance perspective also, green bond, sustainability linked bonds. All of these things are being discussed in this chapter. And then slowly and gradually they will take you towards the risk aspect. They will take you towards the modeling aspect. And the new topic, which is net zero. In the last 2-3 years, this concept has become very big. That has also been introduced. And in this October exam, they've added 2 new concepts. So they've increased 10 questions. 10 questions. So previously 80, now 90. So what they have not given you the bifurcation as such, but what I expect is 5 questions and 5 questions will come from each chapter. Okay. And transition planning is also becoming big, because a lot of these power plants, a lot of these companies who are heavily into fossil fuel, they will need this transition planning. So with that intention, it has been introduced. Okay. And if you look at this nature risk assessment, because TCFD was the initial disclosure requirement, now there's a new one, which is TNFD. So they're also moving towards nature-based way of doing disclosure. So they're looking at, when I'm operating on this planet, how much resources I'm using from this planet to operate. So that assessment also needs to be done for a lot of companies. That is going to be a very interesting change now. Okay, any queries till this point, guys? Any more queries?
I guess many queries will come when we open the, yeah. What is the pass percentage in exam? So that was one question. I guess it's 60%.
50, around 50%. So it is over here.
No, there are 2 questions actually. Okay, so pass percentage. So one clarification I would like to have. So this is the percentage of people who pass this examination, or
out of 100 people sitting the exam, 50 people are passing.
Okay, so this is number of people passing the exam. And is there any criteria in terms of marks? Let's say 60% is the criteria where if you pass that mark, or if you score more than that, you will be considered as a pass.
Got it. Okay. So generally, how do they share your result? Okay. So for each chapter, they will basically tell you in which quartile you are. So this is a normal distribution. So they have bifurcated normal distribution like this: 0, 25, 50, 75, and 100.
Right.
Okay. So if you are, this is the first quartile, and they will give you this for all the chapters.
Okay.
All the 10 chapters, basically telling you that in this chapter, how good was your understanding? Okay, so if you're in the first quartile, that means you're in the top 25% people who appeared for the exam. So it is comparative result. So suppose from the first chapter, we got around 10 questions. So if the paper is tough, even by solving 5 questions, you'll be in the top 25. It is like that. Okay. This is the second quartile. This is the third quartile, and this is the first quartile. So when you are getting first quartile, you are an excellent understanding in that book. So this is basically excellent. This is good. This is fair understanding about that chapter. And this is obviously bad understanding. So if your quartiles are low, okay, obviously you'll not be able to clear. But when I go to the weightages, okay, now if you look at, 1 second, yeah, this chapter and this chapter, 6th and 7th, heavy weightage chapter. Now why am I saying 7? Because even though it is 8 to 12, it is connected to this chapter. So when the questions in the exam will come, it is going to be more or less connected. So you'll not be able to bifurcate, oh, this question is from chapter 6 or chapter 7. So they might club the chapter and ask question. this is what the major trend is. So you should be able to perform good in these two chapters to clear the exam.
Okay.
This is the first part. Second, there is this chapter which is foundation. Even though the weightage is easy, 8 to 12, but what I have observed, this is the chapter where there's a lot of theory, and people underestimate this chapter, and then they get bad quartiles in this chapter and they don't clear the exam. This is also an important chapter from the exam perspective. Okay. I hope I've answered all the queries on the chat section also.
Yeah.
What
Let's
happened?
move ahead, and at
Yeah,
the end also we'll ask others if
yeah,
any.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, no problem. On the day of the exam, what happens? Okay, now this was slight, if anybody is appearing, so they will have to first agree a non-disclosure agreement. That basically means whatever is going to come in your exam, you're not going to talk about it like that. Okay. But if you get ideally 1 minute. Now, previously what was happening, okay, even though you see 1 minute timer, okay, people were reading the entire NDA. And because of which that 1 minute is getting over and you're not agreeing it, your exam is getting cancelled, it is getting moved to next date. So if you're going for this exam, please agree this NDA in that 1 minute. Okay. Then there's going to be a short tutorial that how to go to the next question, how to look at the index of the question, how to flag a question, how to submit. All of this they'll give you a tutorial, and then the actual exam starts. So in reality, the exam is only 178 minutes. It's not 180. Okay, that means the 3-hour exam. Now this 3 hour has become 4 hour. So in that 4 hour also, the first 2 minutes is your introduction, and then the exam is going to start. Okay. Career opportunities. So I generally basically talk about the roles that I see on LinkedIn, on Naukri.com related to sustainability. So I'm going to share some snapshot which I saw recently. Okay, majority of the people who are doing this certification, they are getting hired like climate analyst or the consultant. Okay, and also this. So a lot of NGOs, government organizations are hiring people at a policy level. Okay, analysts who are working in that division, in that policy. Okay, so these are the broader roles or roles that you should target. Okay, environmental compliance officer also. Why? Because they will have to be connected to the reporting of sustainability. There also they need certification, or they need somebody who has the idea of sustainability and some amount of climate risk. These are the broader roles that I've seen people are getting after doing this certification. Also, these are the major companies. So right now, banks, financial institutions, or who are into financial market, they are offering a lot of these roles. So you'll find the MSCI is very big recruiter for this certification. You can also see Moody's hiring a lot because they will be having now sustainability related ratings in the future, climate risk related ratings in the future. So they need people who understand this. Okay, a lot of countries have already got it now. KPMG consulting firms are hiring. They are getting mandates. So one of my students was working for KPMG. So he told me that they're getting mandates, but they don't have people who have some clearing of the SCR and some experience. That is one problem which they were facing. Okay. Answering to the query, is there any percentage grade marks mentioned in the certificate? No. It is just pass or fail. Okay. Obviously, you get the certificate when you pass, but there is no mentioning that how much you've scored. It is not like that. Okay. They don't even mention the attempts. How CFA ESG is different. See, if you look at CFA ESG as a course, it is more focused for investment managers who are going to invest some portion of their money into some company. Okay. So like hedge funds, private equity funds, then your pension funds, insurance companies. Okay. When they are going to invest into the market, ESG certification is good for them because as you move ahead in that certification, the curriculum, you will find a lot of investing related aspect to it. Okay. These are the few roles which I found last time. Okay. Climate and sustainability related people getting hired. ESG is also, again, this certification is not core to ESG, but I wanted to have that also for you guys as a reference. And there is definitely roles available. Okay. In the market. Okay. So climate risk modeling is now going to pick up. JP Morgan hiring people for climate risk modeling, right? See, I talked about MSCI. They are also hiring extensively into this space. research SMP into sustainability. There are a lot of NGOs and institutions who work with government. They are also hiring. Books for the exam. So right now the GARP material is good enough. So when I look at the book, there's a GARP. Obviously, this is 2020, but the latest material will be available. So GARP material is the base material, and there are question banks which are available, which you can take, but that will be add on to this. First, you have to read the GARP material properly. Okay, and then, like I said, institute give their one practice paper, which is nothing but a sample paper. So when you register for the exam, you get one sample paper for 2024. So answering to your query, so it is not like that you have to be good in all the books, all the subjects. No, it can be a combination also. So that is perfectly fine. There's no problem with that. Okay, it can be combination, and you still clear the exam. I've seen people doing that. Okay. Harish, answering to your query, so roughly, like you said, you're an IT professional and you're planning to move into sustainability. Okay, so when you're planning to change your career, how will you give confidence to somebody who's looking out for a sustainability professional? Having some certification, okay, can increase the confidence in the in for employer that yes, this person has done some a basic background, okay, some basic idea, okay, is having a core interest into sustainability. That's the reason he has invested time into the certification, prepared. So we can give chance to him. So basically, a perception that has been that is generally given. Okay. Mudra, answering to your query, hi Ganesh, as per your expertise and opinion, can you suggest which certification could be ideal for ESG individual? Planning on transition into climate finance. Uh, See, CFA ESG is there, but it is not covering climate finance. There is one more certification of CFA Institute, which is on, I think so, there is one more which is on climate finance. You can check that. But again, all of these certifications are very basic level. They will give you the gist, they will give you the understanding. But if you want to get that very detailed understanding, that will only come with work right now. Because the certifications are also evolving. Okay, so that is one caveat that you should keep in mind. Vishal, yes, you appeared for this exam, however, was not able to clear. So there can be a lot of reasons for it. Okay, uh, any certification exam, global one, you need to solve good amount of question. Okay, good amount of question, man. That will be at the exam level. That is one key area that you can focus. Okay, how much time does it require to go for this exam? 130 is the normal time, but I would suggest 150, 170 hours. So which you can spread across 3 months, 4 months if you're working. If you're not working, if you're a college student, then you can easily prepare in 1.5 months also. Because full day, if you can dedicate, it is easy to prepare. That's not a problem. Okay. How much marks to clear the exam? So when it was 80 question exam, based on my experience, you need roughly 45 questions to clear the exam. Okay, 45 across all the 8 chapters. Now it is 90 questions. Okay, so my understanding is it will go slightly up. So it should be around 50 questions you need to clear. 50, 52 questions to clear the exam across all the 10 chapters. Okay, across all the 10 chapters. So how much time? I have already talked about this, around 150 to around 170 hours. That is a general range that we see. Okay. In case you need any help, you can reach me on this number, or you can scan this QR also. Will help you, guide you. Any queries, people, you have?
Yes. So most I must admit that it's impressive that while presenting you also address most of the questions. Just I would like to ask one question, one very basic question, and which talks about uh, which is uh, how the financial institutions are coping with sustainability and climate risk in your opinion, and how this certification can help people to cope up with that, and how people can get expertise into it with the help of this SCR exam.
So answer to the first part. So right now, they have set up teams.
Mm-hmm.
They know that they want to look at climate risk, but they don't have any clarity
Mm-hmm.
in terms of models, in terms of regulatory requirement. There's
Right.
no clarity right now. So
Mm-hmm.
what they are doing is they are just a lot of their calculations, everything is happening on Excel
Mm-hmm.
right now. They
Right.
do not have proper systems also available in public sector banks right now to track what is the overall scope one, scope two emission for each of the companies. Okay, so right now there is not much clarity at the work front, and
Mm-hmm.
that is why what is happening. People who have some basic idea, they are also getting opportunities in the industry.
Right.
It is not like that you need to have 5 years of experience because nobody has that.
Right.
Okay, but this is going to be the center, and especially for banks. Why? Because when they're going to give you loans in the future, they will have to look at climate risk, because all these fossil fuel companies, all of these companies who are not using renewable energy, indirectly regulator is going to punish them by cutting their funding requirements. So
Right.
banks will get mandate. That is
Mm-hmm.
what the general trend I see.
Okay. And second question was with respect to, let's say, modeling, climate modeling, or the kind of risk management that industries have to do or companies have
Mhm.
to do. So how this curriculum or how this SCR certification will help people in that?
So a very fair opinion would be modeling you will not understand after doing this certification. In the sense, it will
Mm-hmm.
not it will not make you an expert in modeling, because for that there are other requirements also. Like for example, you need to know Python or MATLAB.
Right.
Okay, a lot of people are not aware about it, but what it helps is your concepts will be cleared. So if you have some technical expertise, you can
Mm-hmm.
start looking at modeling side also if you wish to go into that. But in bank or any financial institution where there is this demand is growing, 20% of the work will be related to modeling right now.
Mm.
Rest 80% is where there it is more focused on reporting, more focused on talking to the stakeholders, changing their way of doing business. That is how it is going to work. Okay.
Okay. Great. 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 Yes, Komaldeep. So yeah, we'll share the details
Sure. Any
and
other
no
queries,
problem.
guys?
Any other question? If feel free to unmute yourself and ask or use
Yeah,
the
yeah, no
chat.
problem. But please mention your name. How will this help individual entrepreneurship rather than employee employment? If you can start out consulting, because now what is happening, a lot of these big fours, when they're going for audits, they're also pitching that, okay, I will do sustainability reporting for you. So if you wish to enter, the basic activity in terms of entrepreneurship you can do is consulting, straightforward consulting. This is the first thing that you can do. Second would be data management. So right now they need third party data also to use in their models. Okay, if you can work on that aspect, then that is going to be interesting. But again, this is challenging. You need to have interest. You need to have that idea of that area. Then you can enter. You can also start out. One of my students is now working for a SaaS based company, which is into ESG reporting, which is into sustainability reporting. Okay, so that is also what you can do. Technology, which is going to support that, also you can start if you are looking for entrepreneurship related to it. Harish, yes, I do provide training for it, so you can reach out on this number and we can guide you over. No problem.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Ganesh, hi. My name is Vipin. I'm based out of Delhi, actually. So I
Mhm.
work for a leading MNC organization. Okay.
Mhm.
Not an expert in sustainability, but just entered the area maybe 6 to 9 months back because we backed few project and I'm looking after the delivery of those actually.
Okay.
So if I have to switch a career, let's say I'm in a phase of career where probably one switch would be okay for me. Maybe 5 7 years more to go in the to get into the 60s actually. So
Okay.
I just wonder if I am looking for some kind of certification which helps me as a CSO kind of position in any of the organization, chief sustainability officer. This is kind of, I heard that this is the position which is kind of coming up very in a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
big way for the Indian organizations. So what guidance would you have actually for me?
So, like you said, you are already working on the projects, right?
Yeah, somehow I'm managing the show, but there are other people also in the sustainability areas who are leading that, and I'm learning a lot of stuff from them also. Yes,
Okay. So,
yes.
first of all, SCR or any similar global certification related to sustainability should help. This should be there, okay?
Mhm.
Because slowly your regulatory requirement will become that.
Right.
So, because in risk also, now RBI is saying banks that if you're hiring, hire FRM, PRM people, give preference to them. So, somebody who has done some learning from it. Also, if you're planning to transition to that role, you have to look at it in this perspective that are you an expert into two, three industry? Your current
Mhm.
industry, for example, if you're manufacturing or something, so manufacturing plus stays from other industry also where you can transition as a chief sustainability officer.
Mhm.
So what I'm trying to say is don't restrict your learning only to that one industry. Okay,
Understand. Yes.
because you'll have to learn the entire life cycle of the product. So if I'm manufacturing phone, you might understand how it is getting developed in China, how it is coming over here, how the disposal is happening. But this is
Mhm.
only specific to that industry where you're
Mhm.
working right now.
Mhm.
My suggestion, try to build your expertise into 2 to 3 industry and then pitch for sustainability officer related roles. And it will be very good.
Understood. Thanks for your suggestion. Yeah. Thank you.
Great. I got one question. Uh, Someone posted it directly to me in chat. So, does this entire training program cover ESG framework? And if yes, which are they?
The entire SCR curriculum you're
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah.
No. ESG framework is not covered in detail. They have given an introduction, but not in detail.
Okay, right.
Hi, good
Any,
evening.
yeah.
I'm
Who's
SN
this?
Mishra.
Hello, sir.
I also have one question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay, this is regarding, no, I just want to know from Ganesh, how does it help an individual who's already teaching climate risk analysis, climate change impacts, net zero, and GSG accounting strategies, and GSD accounting and net zero strategies? Along with it,
Mhm.
I'm also a climate change consultant who's doing the climate risk analysis, adaptation, and resilience for large infrastructure projects based on CMIP 6 AR6 assessment reports.
Okay. Okay.
So how will this course help me in sharpening my skills?
More than the skill, it is, see, already you have experience, work experience. Okay. So what you have to look at it, because in consulting space or these spaces, the more certifications you have, the more credibility you build, apart from your work experience. That is why a lot of consulting companies, they pay their staff to do certification. So I think so you should look at from that perspective, that it is just a certification in your kitty because you already have a lot of work experience, you're training. So knowledge wise, I don't think so it is going to be a very big differentiator for you.
I'm
But
teaching as a professor in Terry.
acha. Okay.
So I was looking at, because a lot of aggressive advertisement from this course. Yeah. So
GARP is doing a lot of advertisement. Yes.
yeah. So I'm just looking at how it will help. No.
So more from if you're planning to do some personal consulting work also one-to-one in the future, or if you're doing right now, this can be value add. That because I see like this as a consultant, the more certifications you have, more
I'm
credibility it
doing a lot
builds.
of consulting work actually already with the
You're
industry.
already doing, but you're doing as a part of Terry.
As a part of Terry, as an individual also, because I'm a visiting professor in Terry.
Acha, okay. So from knowledge perspective, this is a very basic knowledge because you're already into that. I would not recommend from knowledge perspective.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Great. So almost 1 hour completed.
So
Any
if
other question? Yeah.
excuse me, if some company sponsors, then it's okay.
Definitely. Then you should do it by default.
Okay.
Yeah. Looking at your experience, yeah. So you might know everything that is there in this certification. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Any other burning question that you think that I should ask? Please. Okay, great. So no questions? Okay, so there is one. Yeah.
Brother Kulkarni, can you share with all my nephews and children who are all above 40 for undertaking this course?
Sorry, Sairam from my side. Can I?
Sure, sure, sir, sure. I'll share the details. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And anyway, you are in the group, so I'll
know.
forward the required details. Yeah.
God bless you.
So Ganesh, just wanted to share with you, Ramakrishna sir is 75 years plus, and and he joins, guides us in every week. So that's really nice of.
Right.
Yes,
Sir,
Bandar.
then just can I?
Yes, Bandar, you are audible, please.
I want to same the question. I want to repeat it. How this certification helps for me as a safety professional to the Ganesh, sir, I think so. As a safety professional.
So it opens up new avenues for you because when you're looking, you're basically an safety professional for a company. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So then it is more within. It is more like this. If I'm into projects, say L&T, and I have a safety professional, so he will basically create guidelines that how my workers should work, right? I'm into that area. You're right now into that area. So then more policy building and all of that. But when you look at the sustainability and the climate risk aspect, it is more thinking at how company is going to take decision with
Yes,
respect
sir.
to new projects, new investment. So it is slightly at a macro level. That is where you can go. So, like somebody said, na, chief sustainability officer. So it is going to be like this. With the way you have chief technology officer, where you're going to take decision of new technology coming into the company, sustainability will also become important. So this will elevate and open up new opportunities for you.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
sir.
one question, brother. My classmates who are all above 75, they are working voluntarily for the US government and UK and other countries. Can I suggest them this program so that they can further do something for the government and organization?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely, this will help. Definitely.
Because I can exchange this data with them and they can also look forward for this.
Certainly, certainly.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and one question I got, which was regarding you told about some Telegram channels. So I'm getting question that which are these Telegram channels? And
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll share the details. I'll
Okay,
share
perfect. Perfect. Yeah, and we have one more question from Mohit. Yeah.
So what is the question? Right now, I'm already pursuing few certification, which includes all the framework, learning, accountability framework. Okay, how to prepare, which all includes them. Okay, he's confused. See, if you look at the space, now sustainability, there are so many certifications which are already there. But again, these certifications are there to enhance your knowledge. Somebody who's already working in that space, he's doing the certification to enhance your knowledge. But if you're planning to do job or if you're getting employed in sustainability and this area, you definitely need a bigger certification in the sense which has popularity, which people know, okay, and which tests you also. That is where SCR comes into picture, right? So if you're looking at GAG protocol related certification, which is there on their portal, okay, then you have PRI certifications. That is definitely there. But what happens now? It does not connect you with what is actually happening in terms of job. They will focus more on standards. They'll focus more on what is the policy level thing. At a day-to-day job level, I think so these SCR can connect more to your requirement. I can share it with Dhananjay. There's no problem. Or else you can reach on this number, we can share it to you. There's no problem.
Yeah. And it's
Hi, Ganesh.
no problem. So I guess 2024 version is also available.
It is available.
I have
Yes,
that.
somebody was asking the query.
Yes.
Yeah, Monica this side. Again, I'm also EHS professional, and I'm also trying to move my career to the sustainability. So how beneficial to at the initial stage, how advisable this course, or should I go with other sustainability, basic
Monica,
sustainability?
I think so. Your voice is breaking.
Yeah.
Hello?
I also couldn't hear you clearly. So Monica, can you please repeat once?
Hello, am I clear? Am I audible? I'm clear.
Yeah. Please ask. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. So I'm also EHS professional and trying to move my career towards the sustainability. So at this fresher stage, or intermediate stage, how advisable this course or this certifications are, like the basic sustainability courses are more beneficial at this stage, or this a field which is advanced and which is more related to finance?
See, if you're looking from knowledge perspective, because you're a fresher, this will add value to you because it's something new that you're going to learn. That is one part. Secondly, this certification in the next few years will become 2-level certification, 3-level certification. And then it will become more popular also, more difficult also. So if you're looking at long term, you can clear it and go ahead. I'll give you an example. So FRM initially was only 1-level certification. Then they increased it to 2-level. And now the demand is such that they want it to be do it 3-level. So that is how it will grow. That is what I see, because this concept of sustainability and climate risk will never go. It is every time any company will face these 2 risks. Okay, so definitely the demand will be there. So if you do it faster than it is, you will be able to clear the exam in a better way. Okay, when the modeling requirement is going to be there, and these topics will become core, then you'll have to do that modeling study and all also along with it. So from that perspective, knowledge definitely it will help you, because at a fresher level, it will make you understand the basics of sustainability, basics of climate risk, how the model is created, what are the basic assumptions that are taken, RCP, SSPs, all of these things that you will understand better.
Okay, thank you. And also, this will be applicable for all industries, or like majorly for finance industries?
Primarily for all industry. Sustainability will cut across every industry. Climate risk right now is exclusively focused on the finance, but gradually it will increase.
Okay, because I was also reading about the LEED certification, which is majorly focuses on the real estate part.
Yeah, that is there internationally also, LEED certification.
Yeah.
But that will create very niche area for you. If you have interest, if you see your career into that niche area, then you should do it. That is what my suggestion is. Then having a focus certification is good. Definitely it is good, because if I want to become a treasury manager, I know I am very sure about this, and there is a certification explicitly for treasury. Likewise.
So this certification will focus on any particular area, no? Like it will be
Right now, no. No, it is generic. Right now, it is covering the entire aspect of sustainability and climate risk.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Just I'll take one last question. Is there any validation, means expiry date of the certificate, or any renewal policy?
No.
Great.
No, there's nothing.
Because there are some certifications for which they issue it for only 3 years or 5 years. So that's one good thing, I would.
That is also one of the questions I looked at when I was planning to appear for this exam.
Okay, great.
So there is no such requirement.
Okay, also, any renewal things are like CSP we require renewal, and you have to.
No amount right now. There is no amount required. There's no requirement in terms of CPD. You just have to clear the exam.
One question: how can this help for my contribution to Mother Earth? Because about 20,000 acres of land has been given by different countries. From our own country, about more than 10,000 acres for developing, for making it more greener and all. This certification also how it can help for me to do for the organization without any expectation on monetary or personal gratitude, nothing of the kind, just only for Mother Earth.
Sir, I'll tell you my experience. So I have been hearing about you have to save water from this, but what happens when you start reading?
Mhm.
This is also applicable to you when you become a part of this community.
Okay,
You start looking at each and everything.
all right.
So, like instead of having a bottle, I'm not sure if you're able to see this, but there's a steel bottle. So we have also changed everything in my office for that.
Okay.
So that is basically a inherent change that will come because you've read and you're all see. I cannot do something else and promote something else, right? So from that perspective, also, it evolves you as a human being that how you're going to look at things. That is what I have learned from this certification.
Because living in this country for so many years, every rule or anything, how to bypass the rule, only the Indian works, Indian mind.
Yes. Yes.
And what is to be given where and how to get superficial coverage and keep going. Industries, organization, everything. I work for Birla, Tata, so many private companies, more than 10 or 15, not one or two. I'm telling you. I've seen that all the attitudes have been only like that. I gave up the whole industry and came away. I said, let me embrace Mother Earth and be with her. Just moved out.
Great. Great. So last question from Kumaldeep.
Sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, you showed one slide regarding the exam structure and fees. So I just want to understand the difference between non-member and member fees. Like, is it there are additional fees of being member
Yes.
first and then?
Yes. So basically, they charge around $200, but there are a lot of other benefits of being a member. So
Okay.
they have meetings. They give you a lot of knowledge-based webinars. You get discounts in their global summits. So they conduct risk summit globally. All of that. But right now, to start out with, you can become a non-member because it's only $100, and then gradually you
Okay,
can see if that membership helps you. Then you can additionally take it that way.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Great. Chalo, it was great session, and we got a lot of clarity now about SCR. So thank you so much, Ganesh, for your wonderful.
I really
way of
enjoyed it.
explaining.
I really enjoyed it.
Great.
Okay, thank you very much,
all.
guys. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
everyone, for your valuable time, because time is the most valuable resource that we all have. And if you would like to join this community and join the next session, so I have shared the link. Please register yourself. It's free and you have to do only one time. So please do it if you would like to receive the communication from this session onwards for next sessions as well. Yeah, with this, thank you so much, Ganesh, for your wonderful presentation, and thank you everyone. Have a great
Kindly help me for registering because I don't know the technicalities.
You're already registered, sir.
Okay, thank you, brother.
So no,
I love you. I love you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Nice.
you, everyone. Bye.
Nice, very much.